All right, welcome to Module 2 covering some of our Unix topics. Today we're going to talk about some basic Unix commands as well as diving into directories and how those work for us. So go ahead and open up your PuTTY terminal here. If you have the SVSU connection saved, you can just click on that, click load, and it'll bring up your settings, which are csis.svsu.edu on port 20. You can go ahead and click open and you'll get the login as screen. Go ahead and put in your username as well as your password and you should be brought to your home directory. I'm going to go ahead and blow this up for us again to make it a little bit more viewable. Alright, so now you're at your home directory. And always, if you ever want to verify this, remember pwd is print working directory. You can type that in, click or hit enter, and you're going to be presented with the hierarchy of folder structures here. So home, B, and then my home directory right there. Now, if I want to view the files that are in my home directory, right? If I just want to view whatever files, folders, whatever are in my working directory, I'm going to type ls, and this is going to list all of the files as well as the directories contained within my home directory. So you'll notice there's a color difference here. The blue, kind of purplish blue text is going to represent that these are directories. That means that it's like a folder if you're familiar with Windows or Mac. And then the white that ends with a dot attribute here, those are going to be actual files. So these are going to be text files. These are going to be directories. Now, if I want to get a little bit more technical, I can do ls space and do -l, and this parameter flag here, when I hit enter, is going to show a little bit more information. So you're going to see that we still have the blue and white directories and files here on the far right, but kind of in like this matrix style, we have a lot of additional data. So this, working from left to right here, on the left, this column, drwxr dash, those are going to be the permissions that are tied to each of the items contained in that directory. So these are the permissions tied to the bin directory. These are the permissions tied to my CS105 directory. These are the permissions that look a little bit different that are tied to my files here, my two text files. And that's all you really need to know about these for now. As you progress through your major here at SVSU, you're going to learn a little bit more about how to modify these file or directory permissions, as well as how to set them, how to read them, because right now it's just a bunch of letters, right? So all you need to know right now is that this column is going to be for the permissions that are tied to the file there. You can see that my user ID is tied to these. You can see right here this column with these numbers is going to be the size of either the file or the size, like 258 here's the size of everything contained in this directory. And then this date column here, you have the month, day, year, and then if it was the current year, you're going to have the clock time. That's going to be the last modified time on that. So you can see that I modified these directories and files just minutes ago here. So that's why that shows up there for us. So we can go ahead and type clear, and that is going to clear our screen for us. You can do that at any time, and it'll just kind of clear up your screen if you're getting some clutter on there. Now, I'll just do the simple ls command, which is going to usually be sufficient for you if you just want to see what is in your directory. Now, if we want to navigate to a directory, we type in cd space and then the directory name. So I'll do CS105. CD stands for current directory, and what you're doing is you're setting your current directory to whatever you type in there. I can now see that on my terminal here I have the / directory name, and I can verify always that if I'm in that directory by typing pwd print working directory, and it's going to show right there home directory / CS105. Now if I ever want to go back a directory, like if I just want to go back one, just like Windows has that little back arrow for you where you can just go back a directory, I'll do cd space dot dot and I hit enter. That's going to just take me back one directory. It's a very handy command to use. I can do ls, see what I have in my working directory again. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to my test folder. Additionally, if I don't feel like typing out test, if you notice, I actually don't have another directory that starts with a T. So if I just do tab, all I did was hit the tab button, it's going to auto-populate that for me. However, I have a lot that start with a C, so if I hit tab, it's going to start going with CS. If I keep hitting tab, it'll kind of give me these suggestions. So I have to start typing a little bit more of what I want. So that's a shortcut to keep in mind. All right, so now that I'm in my test directory, I have two nested directories that are in here. So that means that this old directory and new directory are not directly within my home directory, but they're nested inside of this. So I can do cd, go to my new directory here, and you'll see that it just kind of builds upon itself. So home test, so my home directory here, I'm now in my test directory, and then even more specifically, I'm in this new directory. And I can do pwd to print my working directory just to verify that, right? Home, user, test, new directory, all right there for me. I can do ls, and apparently I have a file in here that's newfile.txt. I can go ahead and go back one, cd space dot dot, and now I'm back in my test directory. If I'd like to, I can go into that old directory. There's nothing. So if I type ls and nothing pops up, that means that it's just an empty directory. There are no nested directories or further files within here. So I'll go ahead and go back one more time, and I'll clear this. Now, still within my test directory here, another very handy command is tree. So if I type in tree, it's not only going to give me like ls would, right? ls would tell me, sure, you have new directory and old directory, but it's also going to tell me that, hey, with this little symbol here, within new directory, you have new file.txt. So tree is an awesome command if you think that, hey, I made a file or I made a directory somewhere. Who knows where it is now because I just don't remember it. You can type in tree and it'll kind of tell you, hey, this file is in this directory, and it will do that relative to the working directory that you're in. So everything under test, tree is going to tell me here. And it'll even tell me, hey, you have two directories and one file. Now, if I want to go within new directory, I'll just stay here. I can make another directory. So I can do mkdir, that stands for make directory, space, and I'll do new directory. So I do ls. I can see that new directory contains both a file, new file.txt, as well as new directory. So I'll go ahead and go on back. I'm going to run my tree command again. And now I can see new directory has a file, also has new directory, old directory still empty. And in total, everything nested under test is 3 directories and 1 file. All right, and then one last command for us to know. If we ever find ourselves here, I'll go back into new directory and then new directory, right? So if I print my working directory here, I'm like a ways away from my home directory. So if I ever find myself where I really don't want to do cd space dot dot cd space dot like over and over again to get all the way to the home directory, all you have to do to instantly go home is cd space this is a tilde symbol here. I hit enter. That'll immediately take me back all the way to my home directory. If I do ls here, I'll be right back home there. So that's kind of a shortcut to just get all the way back home if you ever need to do that. This concludes our topics here for the Module 2 Unix portion. Hopefully this is going to prepare you for the quiz as well as the assignment that'll be coming up. So good luck with those. Feel free to reach out with any questions if you have those or want clarification on anything Other than that, happy learning and good luck on the exercises.